Mzansi, something exciting is happening. We were invited to be a guest speaker at the first episode of the Engineer Corner, organized by our friend over on TikTok. It's just easy. Let's have a look at his profile to see what this event is all about. So this is his profile. Please feel free to have a look and follow him. But this video that we want to look at specifically is this one over here, the one that I just watched.
Engineers, I've decided to do a thing on the 4th of March. What is this thing, you may ask?
I was talking about the Engineers Corner event that's happening on the 4th of March.
I am hosting a virtual engineers event.
In which it's a space where different professionals within the engineering space, whether it's software or more mechanical, electrical, civil, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're an engineer, you can come and be a part of the event.
So apart from what Izzy in the past has told us, Izzy currently is shitting bricks. Like, I am scared because the event is catering for 100 people, but I only have filled about 30 spots so far and we have a week left. And I don't know if it's gonna plan out the way that I have it imagined in my head. So let me fill you guys in on what we have. We have like 30 or so confirmed attendees. Number 2, we have 1 sponsor on board. I am still looking for more sponsors, for more people to partner with on this project. It is our first episode of the Engineers Corner, so we're not expecting much, but it would be lovely. We have 3 panelists who are speaking: an AI engineer, a software engineer, and a quality assurer, all of them with great amounts of experience in the industry. There's gonna be a 30-minute Q&A session. It's so far so good. I think what's making me nervous and what's making me scared is probably the fact that I've never done this before. I just wanted to host a space where we can come and have real conversations about what it's like to be an engineer. So this is my official invite to you guys. There's 70 spots left. If you guys would like to be a part of the event, just DM me your email address so I can send you the invite. It is completely free. You do not have to pay a single cent besides paying with your time and data on the 4th of March. That's all you need to do. I'm excited to take you guys along with me on this journey of hosting my first ever event. 100 people I think is a lot. I was a bit ambitious with that. I was a bit ambitious, but I think we can do it. And if we don't, at least we tried, right?
So that's what the event is all about. So let's have a closer look at the profile. So this is the Engineers Corner. So as Easy mentioned, it is a place for up-and-coming students or graduates to find out more about the industry in the engineering field, not only software engineering, but also other kinds like mechanical, electrical, all the different kinds of engineering that are around, industrial engineering, all of those kind of things. So you can see it's on the 4th of March. And there are about 3 to 4 guest speakers. As Easy mentioned, he has about 3 guest speakers at the moment. And we are going to speak about 5 to 10 minutes each. And then thereafter, there's going to be a 30 minutes Q&A session. So my topic that I'm going to speak about, that I was asked to speak about in our brief, is leveraging AI as an entrepreneur, in entrepreneurship. So I thought to myself, what's the best way that I can convey to someone of what's the best way to use AI and how's it going to benefit you in the future? And that's when I had this idea. So what we are going to do is we are going to use Mzansi AI as our very own personal assistant in helping us create this presentation and work on this presentation together. Now that Mzansi AI has some eyes, it should be a little bit easier for him to assist us with this. So let's head over to Mzansi AI and see how he can assist us. So the first thing that we're going to do is brief Mzansi AI about what the situation is and what we need from him. So we just sent the brief through to Mzansi AI, so I'll give you a breakdown of what's it saying. So basically, I'm asking Mzansi AI to just understand this brief and extract the most important information from there that'll help me understand what is required from me as a speaker of this event. So we'll give Mzansi AI some time to understand what's going on and give us some hints on what we need to do going forward. So I see step 1, prepare a short bio. Okay. Step 2, prepare a 5 to 10 minute presentation. And then step 3, prepare for the Q&A. So I see Mzansi AI is even coming through with some tips. Perfect. So Mzansi AI just finished answering our questions. And this is what he got for us. So step 1, prepare a short bio. So this is to be read out loud by Easy during an introduction. And this should be a professional brief and highlight my relevance to AI and entrepreneurship. And it's also giving me the hint that I should make it reliable and inspiring. Perfect. So I think we'll start off with that, but let's move on to the next step. So step 2 is prepare for a 5 to 10 minute presentation. So the theme of this presentation, as mentioned before, leveraging AI in entrepreneurship, plus the power of networking skills. The tone and style of this must be authentic. Speak in a way that feels natural to me. Okay. And the goal, leave the audience with actionable knowledge and a sense of empowerment. Okay, perfect. And the audience, likely entrepreneurs, startup founders, like I mentioned, it's people coming into the industry, just exiting varsity right now. Step 3, prepare for Q&A. Anticipate questions and be ready to engage thoughtfully. Consider ending your presentation with a few open-ended questions to invite discussion. And some tips, Mzansi AI is just talking, it's just plugging itself, of course, talking about Mzansi AI, talking about Mzansi calculator, all of those kind of things. So I think the next thing that we'll have to do is sort out our short bio. And I'm also going to get Mzansi AI to assist us with that. So we just asked Mzansi AI to ask us a few questions in order for it to help us in creating a short bio for ourselves. So let's see what Mzansi AI comes through with. Perfect. So Mzansi AI just finished. Let's have a look at what he said. So some information about me. So there's about 10 questions in total. We'll sit and answer that quickly, and then we'll run through them one by one. So we just sent through the answers to the questions that Mzansi AI wanted to know. So let's run through the different questions that I was asking. So firstly, what's my full name? So it's Yasin Meth. Where am I based? Johannesburg, South Africa. What's my current role? Founder of Mzansi Innovation Hub. What's my background? As you would know by now, I do have some experience in the financial service sector. What's my main focus in entrepreneurship or AI? So my main focus with the MIH app is to make the lives of all the people and the businesses of Mzansi a whole lot easier. And then there was, what's a success story of mine? What's my philosophy on networking? How do I want to speak to the audience? And a phrase that we like to use. So perfect. Mzansi AI is sitting and generating something for us. So we'll sit and see what it is, make a few changes, and I'm sure we should be good to go with that. So Mzansi AI came through with a short description for us. So let's have a look to see what it is. Absolutely, Yasin. Thank you for sharing such a powerful, grounded, and inspiring set of answers. Shout out Mzansi AI. So let's see. Hi everyone. I'm Yasin Meth, the founder of Mzansi Innovation Hub, MIH, the first open source super app designed to make the lives of all the people and the businesses of Mzansi easier. So I have 6 years of experience, my biggest win. Okay, so I'm thinking this one is a little bit too long that Mzansi AI gave to us, so they did give a bonus version for us, so we'll use this one. So hi, I'm Yasin Meth, founder of MIH, Mzansi Innovation Hub, South Africa's first open source super app. I left the financial world to build tech that empowers everyday people and businesses. My biggest win, launching MIH on all platforms, because tech should be accessible and we are all in this together. Let's keep working hard, Mzansi. So I'm not too sure what I'm thinking about the short version. Let's have a look at the long version. Hi everyone. I'm Yasin Meth, founder of Mzansi Innovation Hub, the first open source super app designed to make life easier for every person and business across Mzansi. I spent 6 years in the financial services, optimizing processes with tech, but I left it to build MIH from scratch in 2024. Our mission to empower South Africans through technology, whether you are a startup founder, small business owner, or just someone looking to stay ahead. Our biggest win, launching MIH across the web, Android, and iOS, so anyone everywhere can use it. I'm not sure what I think about the networking thing, if I'm being honest, but let's finish reading it. If you ask me, networking is a great asset because no one has all the answers, because we all have something to offer. Let's keep working hard, Mzansi. I think I like this. What we will do, because it's just a bio about myself, I'll cut out the part about networking, and we'll just have everything, from there. So I'll copy this, and I'll put that somewhere for me to use later on. So I have that noted down now. So super happy with what Mzansi AI came through with already. So now let's move on to step 2. So we'll scroll back up to the top and see what step 2 was. So step 2, prepare a 5 to 10 minute presentation. So let's ask Mzansi AI to give us a structure or a foundation of that presentation, because Mzansi AI is our assistant for this. So we'll let him do that for us. So I asked Mzansi AI to help me brainstorm some ideas for our 5 to 10 minute presentation. So what information does he need from me in order for us to continue with this? So let's wait for Mzansi AI to come back with the answer and we'll see what he has to say. Perfect. Mzansi AI is done. Let's see what it had to say. So once again, it gave us a few points that we can look through. I think there's about 7 of them. So let's see. Point number 1, audience insight. So who are our audience? This is going to help us cater our presentation for the specific type of audience, so it doesn't go over their heads or we're speaking about things that they're not too familiar with. The next one is my key message in this message. Already covered. So we have the AI in entrepreneurship and the networking skills and the networking skills, but I'll give it a little bit more information about what I want to speak about in those different topics, and we'll leave it at that. The next one, the preferred flow, story, tech, networking, problem, solution, tool. So just how we would like the preferred flow of our presentation to be. And then next is visuals, tools. Will I use the MIH app, Real Matrix? How are we going to deliver this presentation? I guess the tone and style, any hooks that we would like to use, and time allocation. Perfect. So let's get started. So I'll go ahead and answer some of the questions, and then we'll come back and give it to Mzansi AI. So we've just answered the questions and we've submitted it through to Mzansi AI. Let's see what it comes back with. Mzansi AI just finished answering our questions and giving us some ideas. So let's see what it came through with. I'm quite impressed with what it is doing and how it's breaking down things. So let's go through. So based on our previous answers that we gave it, so we're going to have 50% AI in entrepreneurship, 50% networking 1. Must make sure that it's easy to understand, friendly and a welcoming tone, and also no hooks, no twists, this pure authentic value that this presentation has to bring. So in the beginning, or in the start of the presentation, we can see that it's our presentation outline. So this is just breaking down the different parts of our presentation and how much time we need to spend on it. So we can see our opening just give us some information about ourselves that Easy hasn't already given in our bio. And then we can have part 1, which is AI as your personal assistant. Well, that's what I want to talk about in this presentation. So making AI your assistant, not you becoming the assistant to the AI. We'll break that down in the presentation. And then networking 101. So just the foundations of networking with people and understanding what's good, what's not good, and how to move forward from there. And why it benefits you also. Then closing and call to action about 1 minute. So in total, Mzansi AI is saying that our presentation should be about 7 minutes in total. So our opening should be something about our bio. We can ask some questions over here. So ask yourself, what's one, or this is something I might ask myself, I'm guessing, what's one thing you'd like to automate and connect with, but haven't yet? I'm not sure what this is saying. Then let's learn how to make AI your co-pilot and how to build your network. So I think this is how we must end off our opening in order to move on to the next part, which is AI as your personal assistant. So over here it's saying, think of AI not like Google, but as your personal assistant who can help you find the right information, automate your daily tasks, save your time so you can focus on the more important work out there. Demo, so I don't think we'll do a demo because of the time constraints, so we'll leave this out. So the key takeaways are this, that we should have in this part of our presentation. AI doesn't replace you. It helps you focus on what you're good at. Instead of Googling the answer, ask AI, who should I connect with next? I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll figure out the ending of that. That's just a starting point for us. Then part 2, networking 101. So networking isn't about being the best. It's about being the one who knows the right person. That's actually quite nice. Shout out to Mzansi AI. So 3 easy steps in order to do that. So start off small. Connect with a few people on LinkedIn. Grow your digital audience from there, your digital network from there. Then be curious, not pushy. Ask people, what's the one thing you're learning right now? And follow up with what tools and resources could help me in learning this. And how to build real, meaningful relationships. And also, what I would add to this, we'll add it in the main presentation. Instead of selling yourself, you just sell yourself a little bit, but let them speak a lot about themselves to get an understanding about who they are, what they're all about, what their expertise are. so that you can steer the conversation from there. And also from your side, you'll know that, okay, I'm lacking at this. We can then move on, or I can ask questions about that to improve my understanding about this topic. And then also use AI to help connect. So this is, it's just saying, ask your favorite AI assistant to help you connect with the right people and the right fields and industries, things like that. The key takeaway from this part is networking isn't a magic trick, it's a process. And AI can help you find the right people so you can start building your own network today. So we'll also tweak that to find something good over there. Then if we scroll down to the bottom, closing and call to action. So this is about 1 minute. So let's see what Mzansi AI has to say. You're not just a student, you're the next generation of entrepreneurs who will use AI and networking to build something powerful. And you already have the tools to start. Shout, shout out, shout out. Mzansi AI is coming through with some fire, I'm not gonna lie. What to do next? Install MIH. Okay, always plugging itself. That's fine. And some bonus preparing the presentation, the slides itself. So slide one, what the title should be. Slide two, bio about ourselves. Slide three, the AI part. Slide four, networking. Slide five, our closing. So this structure is perfect. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I think what we'll do now is we'll take a break from Mzansi AI and we'll head over to creating our presentation. So we'll come back when our presentation is sorted. Mzansi, we're back and we just finished create our presentation based on the help and guidance that Mzansi AI gave to us. So I'll take you through that quickly and I'll explain what we're going to do afterwards. So I'm going to open up Canva. This is my tool of choice when creating presentations or posters or any of those kind of tools. I think it's the easiest to use. So you can see our cover page. AI plus networking equals your secret sauce, right? By Yasin Meth. So that's the first one. Then we'll head over and move on to the next one, which is AI as your personal assistant. So remember, all of this guidance was given to us by Mzansi AI. We did tweak things a little bit, change the wording a bit, and the information that's on the slide right now is not really the information that I'm going to just read out while I'm presenting. I am going to freestyle it a little bit and then yap a little bit with the people of the audience. Next is Networking 101. So Networking 101, what we'll chat about is networking isn't about being the best. It's about being the one who knows the right people. And then lastly, what we have is just a slide just about myself to plug myself. I have 6 years of experience, what our mission is, and where you can download the application. I'll rework this to see what we can do. And these slides over here, we'll delete it, delete it, delete it, and then we'll have a thank you slide. So now that I think our presentation is good to go and ready for the event tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll just practice a little bit on our own off camera. And I think after this, what I'll do is I'll try my best to record the event, at least my part of the event, add it to this video, and then come back and review everything afterwards. Hopefully it goes well. Wish me luck, Mzansi, and hope you enjoy it.
So yeah, I'm gonna do a few introductions. My name is Israel, but I'm sure some of you guys know me from social media as it's just Izzy. I am an electrical engineer by profession and currently working in the software space. I created this platform or started this a movement for us as engineers because I felt, as a young engineer, it's difficult to navigate the industry, your career, and to get the sense of belonging. There's so much information out there, and you don't know what's right, what's wrong. But this is a space for us to have those conversations, to connect with one another, and maybe this can grow into something, even further. Without further ado, I'm gonna introduce my first guest speaker, which is Yasin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yasin is also an engineer, so we can welcome him to the community. However, he worked in, I think, the business space, financial services for a bit. After that, then he decided, to start his own tech company using AI and other technological tools to basically, they do a bunch of stuff. So I think he'll be the one to tell us about that. But if you guys have any other questions, if you have questions, please just do type them in the chat. And as he, gives us his presentation, we'll tackle some of those questions. And at the end, I think the last 20 or 30 minutes of the session, there'll be a Q&A where any other questions outside of the presentation points, we can tackle those and try to break those down. But without further ado, can we please welcome Yasin? And Yasin, you have the stage.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh,
Uh,
my bad. I was on mute. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it. I'm just going to share my screen. I did prepare a few slides, not too much slides. I don't want to bore you with everything. So let me just make sure everything is sorted on my side. And then just let me know once I start sharing if everything is visible over there.
yeah,
Perfect.
We can see your screen.
Okay, thank you so much. So Easy tasked me in with the topics of leveraging AI as an entrepreneur and also the power of networking. So what we put together is AI plus networking is your secret source to success. So like Easy mentioned, my name is Yasin Meth, and I'm the founder of Mzansi Innovation Hub, and I have about 6 years of experience in the banking industry, Standard Bank specifically. And there we worked on a lot of automation and digitization within the space. But then once I had the idea of starting my own business, and then we moved on from there. But I won't bore you with that. Let's dive into the topics at hand. So AI as your personal assistant. So when I started off MIH on my own, it was just myself, no one else, and I needed something else to assist me. And I started shifting my thinking from thinking of AI as just another tool to thinking of AI as the next version of Google. So then I turned it into my personal assistant so that it can help me find the right information fast. So what I mean by this is instead of in the past before AI, what you would do is you would head over to Google, ask your question over there, and then if you're lucky, it's the first link, but most of the time you aren't lucky, and then you'll have to click on 3 to 5 different links, read the different articles, and then understand all this information just to answer that one question of yours. But now with AI, you just head over to one AI, ask your question, and then you have your answer almost instantly. With the progress of AIs, it's almost immediately now. Then the next thing that AIs can help you with and why you would want it as your personal assistant is it can automate your daily tasks with agents. So agents is a new field inside AI LLM space. I'm not sure if you've heard of N8N. So this is also a tool, an AI tool that is used to automate specific tasks. So you have like a trigger, like say I received this email and then specific actions need to happen. So that's one of the tools that assists you with this. But even now, AI moves so fast that there's a new tool called OpenClaw. It was ClawBot, it was MaltBot, now it's OpenClaw. And this is its own digital person that has its own computer that can assist you with any task that you want. It'll figure things out on its own. So this is another thing that you can do. And why do you do this? It's because the AI saves you time so that you can work on something more important, right? So in the software engineering space where I am in, how it assisted me is when I'm coding and previously when coding it was a little bit slow. You would have to go into Google on Stack Overflow, but now with coding, all the boilerplate code, so the simple code that you would normally generate, it's automatically done for you. And one of the biggest time savers out there is also debugging. So if you have a bug, previously you would have to type it into Google, refine your search until you find something, but now you just dump that whole error into an AI assistant and it'll provide that information for you, right? And saving you time to think about more important things, new features, all of those kind of things that you'd like. And the last thing, you shouldn't get lost in the hype. So AI, like I mentioned, it moves super fast. Every single week there's a new tool coming out, and if every when there's a new tool coming out, days afterwards, there's even clones of this tool that are even better than the original one. So I think don't get lost in the hype, because what would happen is you would learn this one tool, not become an expert on it, but then you would move on to the next tool, and then the next tool, and then the next tool, and then you're never an expert on anything. So my suggestion is you would rather learn one tool, and once you're comfortable with it and you want to expand your skills, then you can move on to another tool. You can know about it, but once you start diving into it, you can do that, like a coding IDE. I think in the beginning of the year, every single week, there was a new AI coding IDE out there. So are you going to switch just because of the hype? I didn't switch myself. I stuck with what I know. And then one takeaway from this slide is AI doesn't replace you. It helps you focus on what you're good at instead of wasting your time surfing the internet. Happiness. So I'm not sure if there's any questions right now. If not, I can move on to the next slide.
I do have Sorry, I do have a question. And I think, guys, feel free to type your questions in the chat and I'll also read them out. But you mentioned that, not to get lost in the hype. So I think for a lot of like software engineers or students or professionals in that space, what are how do we, because there's a lot of AI tools and softwares out there, which ones do you think are worth focusing your time learning?
So I would think, firstly, master the basic AI chatbots. So your Gemini, your ChatGPT, Claude, master those tools, understand how it works. I think prompt engineering is something that would really help you. Instead of typing a basic prompt to AI, you would give it more information, understand how to massage the tool. So I think once you know that basics, then you can move on to other tools like a coding assistant. For example, I use Copilot as my coding assistant inside VS Code. So that's my coding IDE, and I use VS or Copilot as that tool. So I'm learning how to use that and working from there. And then another tool that I haven't learned yet, but once I've mastered the Copilot stuff, is the coding agents, where you just tell it something and then it runs in the background on your machine and codes it for itself. So I think those basic tools, but it's a journey, step by step. You go from there. You don't immediately jump into the coding assistant stuff. You start off with understanding what the AI is first. So I think that's the three tools that I would jump in as a software engineer, but mastering the main AI chatbots is the best place to begin. Perfect. If there's no other questions, I'll move on to the next part of this presentation. And that is networking 101. So the power of networking. So I'd like to say that networking isn't about being the best out there. It's about knowing who's the right person. So what do I mean by that? So you don't have to know everything, but your contact list has to be quite good and filled with a lot of the correct people. So if I know I need electrical engineering help, I have Easy over here. If you need software engineering help, you have Yasin, and all of those kind of things. So that's what networking is all about, meeting the right people to meet your needs in the future. So then how do we do this? How do we begin networking? So I don't think jump straight into events, all right? I think the best way to do this is building your online professional network. Just like how all of us met, we met through TikTok, through Easy. So that's a way of building your professional network. And then another tool that people love using, which I'm not so happy about at the moment, is LinkedIn. So that's where all the professionals, they go and brag about their different achievements and things like that. But that's also a good place to connect with different people and reach out to them for assistance and even for job opportunities. I think LinkedIn is a good place for that. Then the next thing, once you're comfortable with networking online and building your online network, next is be curious, attend events, and get to know people. Right? This is one of the hardest, especially for myself, when I attend events, because I'm a solo founder. I'm not going with a group of people. I'm going by myself, and talking to random strangers and striking up a conversation in the beginning, it's extremely difficult. So you have to jump into the deep end and just go from there. Everyone is friendly. Everyone also wants to network, but I think they're also nervous. So attend events. I think recently I attended the Soweto Dev event, and that was just Google coming through to us explaining what the different tools are and things like that. But I don't think the presentation was the most important thing. I think it was the people that I met over there and the connections that I made at the event. So that's the next thing. And then the last thing, don't be afraid to reach out. Now that you've built your online network, you've met people in person, and now you need some assistance. Don't struggle on your own. You have your network. This is what the network is for. They know that you're going to reach out to them for assistance for their skills, and they'll do the same to you. So don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask for assistance. I can tell you for free that every single person that I reached out to was friendly and happy to assist me. And anyone who reached out to me, I was also happy to assist with them, with any of their needs. And then the one takeaway from this slide is networking isn't a magic trick. It's a journey, just like any other relationships that you have in your life. You make sure you nurture them. You make sure you don't push them. You just enjoy the relationship that you have with them. Cool. Is there any questions out there? I saw there was a question that popped up, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, there is a question in the chat. I'll read it now. And I'll pair it up with my question as you're speaking about networking. So, funnily, Lisa mentioned or asked, I don't know if it's a he or she, but they're asking, what advice would you give to someone who's been shut in his whole life with regards to networking? And to add on to that, I think, as engineers or people who are uh, very scientific brained, we tend to isolate a lot. So I resonate with where that question is coming from. But you mentioned attending events. On top of that question, I just wanted to ask, where would you find information regarding these events, software events, engineering events? And some of them tend to be like exclusive in the sense that you need to be either working in the industry or know someone to get access. So how would you advise people to navigate that?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'll start off with how do we find events? How do we get access to this event? So I'll speak from my own experience. Most of the events that I've attended, I've seen them advertised on TikTok, whether it was sponsored or just a regular person promoting the event. So I would do that. I would find out more. I would DM them and understand, like, how do I get access, all of this kind of things. So I think that's how I do it. I think there's much better places in order to do this, but that's how I've been doing it so far. So it's on TikTok, finding these events, and then once you attend the specific events, then you'll be a part of the register where they'll invite you or they'll send you emails to their next events or other events, similar kind of events. So I think once you first get started with the events, more events will start appearing. And also, I think on my side, I like to steer my algorithm, specifically on TikTok, into what I like. Like if I'm in the software mood, I'll steer it towards this. Now I'm currently steering it towards small businesses. So because the algorithm knows I'm interested in small businesses now, it will push content of small businesses and events for small businesses to me. So I use the algorithms to my advantage to get the information that I want from them. But I'm sure you will be able to Google and find some of the events over there. So the next question is, how do you get started with networking if you've been a shut-in? So you are very shy, you're an introvert. So I can say that I'm also an introvert, and it's extremely difficult. But the more you practice it, so like I mentioned, start off with the digital world. Reach out to people in the DMs. You don't even have to speak to them. You can just chatting to them is a lot easier. Sending them a friend request, chatting to them, finding out more information. Once you are comfortable with reaching out to people out of the blue, then you can move over to the events where it's even today myself, it's a struggle going up to people and then just striking up a conversation and then advertising myself, promoting myself. But with each person that you speak to, it starts getting easier and easier. So I think keep pushing, don't get discouraged. If people aren't into the conversation, then you'll get that sense and you can just move on to the next person. You don't have to force a conversation with this person, but you'll get the vibes from there. But that comes with practice. So don't be afraid. Just head in. Everyone is friendly out there, and everyone also wants to network, and is probably also afraid to speak to people. So it's best to be the first one to reach out. happiness. Any other questions? Oh, I hope I answered the questions.
Here's another question. Yeah, you did answer our questions. Thank you so much, Jesse. Another question. How important are networking events in undergrad? Say you're in second year. Is it too early or is it a long-term investment for life in postgrad?
Okay. So, from my own experience, I don't think networking is a bad thing. So, the one thing that you're going to benefit from is you're going to be one step ahead of the pack when you're in final year or when you're in postgrad because you have the skills of networking already. So, use it as a practice. But then also getting internships. If you've built a relationship, say, for example, you are interested in working at Mzansi Innovation Hub, maybe there's a career fair at your university and it's mainly for final year students, but you can go and build a relationship with me if I'm over there. Get my contact details, reach out to me, ask them, oh, what kind of information do I need? What do I need to learn in order to get into the company in the future? I'm not ready yet, but I want to be there in the future. So I think it's very beneficial and it puts you one step ahead of everyone else. So you're already one lap around the track when everyone else is starting. So I think that's why. With regards to coding, oh, sorry, Easy, I'm not sure. No problem. Not sure if you want to answer when I read that
I think,
question.
yeah, just so we have formality, I'll read the questions. Are you done with your presentation before?
So one last slide, just plugging
Okay.
myself. So my company is called Mzansi Innovation Hub, and you can get our application on the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, Huawei App Gallery, and you can find it on the web. Just search MIH or MIH app, and we should appear at the top of the list. See what we're all about. If you like it, reach out to us. We also open source, so you can also contribute to the MIH project, which is the foundation of what we're working on. Perfect. That's all from my side.
All right. Before I take that question, I want to ask you a bit about Mzansi Innovation Hub. What do you guys do there? If you can like kind of summarize it for us, and also just why did you leave the banking sector then to go and work on your company?
Okay, so what is MIH all about? So MIH, we're creating the first open source super app of Mzansi. So if you are familiar with the super app concept, it's one place that you go to meet all of your needs. And our mission and vision here at MIH is making the lives of all the people and the businesses of Mzansi a whole lot easier, a whole lot better, and a whole lot smoother. So we have many different features on our application. And I'll just give you three of our features. The first one is the Mzansi directory. So it's a place to connect people and businesses of Mzansi together. So instead of going onto Google searching for a company, you come onto the Mzansi directory. Next one we have is the Mzansi AI. So we are dipping our toes into the AI field. We're not using APIs from the big companies. We are trying to host everything locally and understand what AIs are all about instead of just trying to keep up with the hype, like I mentioned. And then lastly is our patient manager. So this is a tool that streamlines and digitizes the interactions between a patient and a doctor and also allows your patient profile to be shared amongst multiple different doctors. So when you go to a new doctor, you're not starting off from scratch, you're starting off with your patient profile. So that's what it's all about. And sorry, what was the last one?
My last question was just then why did you leave
Oh,
the banking sector?
okay. So I enjoyed working at the bank. It was amazing, lots of learnings from there. But I started getting frustrated because I think COVID and all of the above, it put restraints on the company's budget restraints in particular. And I wanted to architect a brand new system to improve some of the needs of the bank. And I designed the architecture. I literally presented to different executives within the bank, and once I got to, I think it was the head of CIB operations, he was happy with it. So the next step was to proceed with it. But then there was a problem with budget. No one really wanted to pay for it. So I really got frustrated with it because I know I could build it. Even if you said no, just go ahead and build it, I could have built it, but there was budget restrictions and this and that, and I got a little bit frustrated at that time. And I thought to myself, let me step away from this and work on it on my own. And that's how I created MIH.
Interesting. I think from our side, also the space I think is a lovely space where we can support each other. So how, if there's a young person out there who either maybe wants to get involved with you, or someone who feels inspired by what you're doing, what kind of support do you think you need right now from either there's a business person you can connect with or a young person, and also yeah, like how can we support you and support Mzansi Innovation Hub? And then I'll get into to the questions in the chat.
Okay, so how can you support me? So I think because I'm also an up and coming content creator, the struggle at the moment is reaching the right people or reaching a lot of people. So I think firstly, download our application if you're happy with it. I think, sorry, one of the other features was a digital wallet, the Mzansi wallet. So if you're happy with the features that we provide, share it with your family, share it with your friends, speak about MIH, and you can also follow us. And if you want to reach out and dive more deep into, say, for example, the coding side, how to assist in the coding, our our source code is available on our own locally hosted Git. So you can reach out to me through TikTok DMs. You can just search Mzansi Innovation Hub, follow me, I'll follow you back, and then reach out to me, offer how you can assist, whether it's user experience, if you're interested in that, whether it's actual backend coding, any of the above. You can just reach out, we can have a discussion. I'll even set up a personal meeting so we can get to know each other and see what steps we can take in order for you to assist us.
All right. I'll definitely be the first to check out your app. And hopefully we can even connect and make some magic on that. But
Perfect.
we have a couple of questions. I think I'm going to take three. I'm seeing also some of my guest speakers are not here. So if there is someone who's an engineer, but more not on the software side, more industry side, and would like to just hop on and share their experience, I think it would be beneficial to some of the students here, because I know a lot of them also ask with regards to the like more hardware slash traditional industry, how that works. But one of the questions we have here is with regard to coding, how would you strike the balance between hard coding and using AI? And then second question is, what was the biggest challenge you faced when you started Mzansi Innovation Hub, and how did you overcome it? And I think the last question, okay, I don't know. Nah, let's go with all of them. It's fine. Start with the first two, and then I'll read the last two for you.
Okay, perfect. So, what is the biggest challenge that we faced, and how did I overcome it? So, I think the biggest challenge with Mzansi Innovation Hub was putting myself out there, putting my face out there, and promoting the up my business, right? So, in the bank, in my previous experience, it was a lot of back end work. I wasn't really client facing, it was more back end things. And then also being a programmer, you really don't face clients or promote yourself. You normally have in a business, you would have your marketing team doing that for you. So it's the biggest challenge was taking on all of those roles and putting myself out there and being vulnerable with the people of Mzansi to showcase what we're all about. Because if I didn't do that, we would have no we'd have no people using our application. So I think that was the biggest challenge. And then overcoming it was just diving in head first. So if you I go back to my first video that I made on any of the social medias and I laugh at it. It was blurry. I was very timid. I was soft. I was rambling a lot. So it's okay. You won't be the best first, and the version that you're seeing of me right now is the worst version that you're gonna see of me. So in the future, I will get better at speaking, at presenting, at promoting myself, and all of the above. So I think just practice makes perfect. So that's how you overcome things. Keep pushing. Don't get discouraged if it's not the best. Next question to a first year:
Yeah.
would what advice would you give in terms of building a long-term presentable profile? Okay. So firstly, you must find something that interests you, right? So there's no use building something that doesn't interest you. Then it feels like an assignment from school, from varsity. So find something that interests you. And then once you do that, then you can start building it, prototyping it, building it. and then putting it on a different website. For example, I think my cousin was asking something similar to this because she just left the she just graduated from varsity. So I said she wants to go into the data field, building dashboards, building business intelligence, things like that. So I told her, since you're interested in that, start off by building there's a basic dashboard on your own profile. There's open data out there. You can use that open data, create your dashboard, and that will show companies in the future that this is my skills, this is what I can do. I'm not starting off from scratch when I join your company. So I think once again it puts you ahead of everyone else. So yeah, so I think just start off with the basics, I think, and just move forward from this. Build slowly but surely. You won't build Google in a day, right? So slowly but surely, just build upon what you're interested in, and then you can showcase this to whoever.
All right. I have one question for you, which is also tied into the uh,
Happiness. So I'll answer the second question first. So, what advice can I give someone trying to break into the corporate industries? So, when I was in the bank, I'm not sure if it's too late for you if you're in third year, but I used to attend different events hosted by the specific companies. And then it also shows those people that you're hungry for you don't just want to party in varsity, you also want to increase your skills networking. So this showcases what you're all about. And then I think the best thing when you are just about leaving varsity, don't leave it to too late. Don't get your degree and then apply for jobs. I think immediately in your third year, maybe after the first not term, halfway through the first semester, start applying for jobs. And I think the best kind of job out there that you can do is or the best kind of program that you can get in is the graduate program. So the graduate programs gets your foot in the door, and then you also start off quite high up in the company, and you get to network with quite like a lot of the big bosses over there. So it puts you a step ahead of everyone, like someone starting off in a call center and working their way up. You start off much higher with the graduate program. So I think apply for those first to all companies, and I think that's the best thing that you can do to kickstart your career. And then the next question, how does an engineer end up in banking, right? So remember, every single company out here is not, let's say for example, I'm a plumbing company, right? This plumbing company is not only a plumbing company, but they have to be a technology company also. So every single company out here has to have their technology side. Even under electrical engineering, right? There's parts of the bank that require that specific skills. And also when they are hiring people, they see the term engineer and they don't really think, okay, you're interested in software engineering, so I'm going to put you as a coder. They know that engineers are good at solving problems, and that's why they employ you. So they're employing you to solve problems. It doesn't have to be in the specific field. It can be in any area within the bank, but that's what engineers are good at, identifying problems and then creating solutions for them. So that's why the banks hire a lot of engineers, chemical engineers, electrical engineers, software engineers, all of the above. Mzansi, it's the morning after doing our presentation at the Engineers Corner, and I just wanted to give you my feedback and my opinions of the space that was created by Easy. It's just Easy over on TikTok. And yeah, tell you what the experience was like. Firstly, from my side, it was quite nice presenting, showing my thoughts, and giving my thoughts to the different audience over there. Mainly, there were people that are students and upcoming graduates, things like that. And it was quite cool presenting to them. It was quite cool answering their questions. They came through with some great questions, some thought provoking questions. And I think I tried my best to answer their questions to the best of my ability and assist them in their career growth going forward. And that's what I really wanted to do and why I wanted to join the Career Corner. So thank you so much, Easy. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity for bringing us on. And yeah, and the event was definitely a success. And I'm wishing him many more successful events just like that. Thank you so much for following along on the journey of using Mzansi AI as our personal assistant for creating our presentation for the Engineer's Corner. Thank you so much, and let's keep working hard, Mzansi.